Ladies and gentlemen, the Penn State Nittany Lions coaching search has been bonkers, but I'm here to tell you there is hope. We're going to break down all the stories and whittle it down to the decision Penn State should, could, maybe needs to make. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron with my buddy Paul. We are the Big Ten guys on the daily, pushing Big Ten news, rumors, analysis, whatever the heck it is. Big Ten, we're going to talk about it right here. So do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and hit the like button, because I know for Penn State fans, it feels rough right now. The signing day for you guys wasn't ideal, but I promise you, things are looking up. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, Satake. Wow. I'm not spending a lot of time on this. Don't go to the next video. But all I got to say is, wow, you're telling me the CEO of Crumble Cookie, the guy who owns that supplement company and all these different things, convince him to stay, give an extension, all this stuff, and he turns down Penn State? Bonkers. Crazy for me to believe. But again, I don't think that was necessarily a great fit anyways. And I think Penn State right now, I don't truly believe they thought they would be in this position. But I think the biggest thing they need to do is take a step back, take a deep breath, and say, all right, what are our options? What can we do? But not only that, they then get denied by Jeff Brom. Brom, Louisville's coach, he says, nah, I'm good. I'm going to pass. Again, I don't think that's, I think that's a bullet dodge right there. I don't think he would be a fit for Penn State. Just my thought. A lot of people saw him linked to the job. Take the pass. Then obviously you see Pat Fitzgerald. He goes to Michigan State. Then you see Bob Chesney go over to UCLA. So then you're like, okay, all these coaches. Brian Hartline goes and signs with the Bulls of University of Southern Florida. All these different moves. And Penn State still sitting there thinking, what can we do? Then all these names start being floated out. Matt Campbell out of Iowa State. I will tell you this. Sure, he has turned around that program, but the question becomes, can he step into a program like Penn State and do well? Again, his name was huge a handful of years ago when it came to a coaching candidate. He decided to stay in Ames, Iowa. And again, he's been okay. I guess last year, technically, they had a chance to make the college football playoff. But the question would be, can he go somewhere else with much more resources and be successful? Kind of like Pat Fitzgerald. A lot of people think he's going to be much more successful at Michigan State because of the resources that he is going to have at his disposal. Would that be the same with Matt Campbell? I don't know. I would lean towards no. I don't think it's a home run hire. Then you go on. We continue. Big Ben Roethlisberger floats out the idea of Mike Tomlin. Again, there's been jeers in Pittsburgh that he should be fired, people booing him, all these different things, even though the things that are inevitable in life is death, taxes, and Mike Tomlin's Pittsburgh Steelers making the playoffs. Somehow, some way, they do it. Should he leave? Should he go to Penn State? I don't know. Does he really want to leave to go to Penn State? Is Ben Roethlisberger floating that out there just because it's an idea and he wants a headline? I don't know, but I don't think it's necessarily a good fit. That leaves us to two options. Option number one is Brian Daboll. Again, Brian Daboll kind of thrown into a situation in New York that was not ideal. Was a very successful offensive coordinator under Nick Saban, is an offensive guru. I do not think would be a bad fit. But then as well, the question becomes this. Is the answer sitting right in front of Penn State this whole time? So I would say the breaking news as of right now in Penn State's crazy national treasure coach search is top-level Penn State donors are pushing for the athletic director, Pat Kraft, to promote interim head coach Terry Smith. I will tell you this. As a Michigan State fan, as a Big Ten fan, I think as a college football fan, I think anyone you'd be stupid to say you don't want to see Penn State succeed. Penn State is a blue blood program. They have a very rich history. And it is rough watching this whole thing. If you remember years ago, the whole juggling act Tennessee had to do when they were trying to ask, they asked Mike Leach, they asked all these different people, they all turned him down. Then they went to Greg Schiano. And then they said, well, Greg Schiano, oh my gosh, he was part of this Jerry Sandusky thing, and blah, blah, blah. And so they ended up, saying, okay, we're not going to do this. He ends up going to Ohio State, helps them win a national championship, then goes to, Rutgers, all these different things. And so when it comes down to it, they're going to get past it. They're going to figure it out. There's hope at the end of the tunnel. And I misspoke on Greg Schiano. I'm sorry about that. When it comes to Ohio State, he was there. Then he moved on to Rutgers, back where he was, back when it was in the Big East, which is crazy to think. But anyways, that's beside the point. Yes, they're in a pickle. Yes, they need to figure a lot of stuff out. Did they believe that Terry Smith was going to be the head coach when they moved him up as interim head coach? My answer would be no. If they thought so, they would have named him head coach long ago, would have gotten this all figured out before this whole recruiting debacle. Chances are they wanted this figured out long, long, long ago. But here we are. So the question becomes Brian Daboll, Terry Smith. I feel like those are the options as everyone else has been taken off the table, as everything else has been figured out for all these other programs that jumped on, threw money at all these guys, threw extension at other players like Satake, coaches like Satake. What do they need to do? Quarterback who was just picked up, who was originally signed to Auburn, flips over. I'm blanking on his name. Comes over to Penn State, says he wants Terry Smith to be the head coach. I think the bigger question is, as a Penn State fan, I'm not a Penn State fan, what do you think? Again, I know it's frustrating when you're in a coaching carousel trying to figure stuff out, but what do you want the Nittany Lions to land on? And you might say to yourself, Aaron, well, I want them to land a month ago and figure this out. Right, I know, but we're past that. Now, what do you want to get it figured out and then move forward? Who do you want to see as the new head coach? Is that a Terry Smith? Is that a Brian Daboll? Again, I don't think DeBoer I really don't think he has any interest in Alabama, or just some low level coach in a group of 6 conference. Someone who maybe is surprising. I don't know. Again, that Kirk Cignetti type hire. I don't know. What's your thought? Maybe I'm missing someone, but again, this whole thing has been a total mess is the best and most appropriate way I can say it on YouTube. It's been a mess. But what says you, Penn State fans? Stress, vent whatever you need to down below. Again, you might be boycotting Crumble Cookie. I don't know. But I would love to hear from you what your thoughts are on the coaching search moving forward, who you want to see, what will happen with recruiting, whatever it might be. Comment below. Hit the subscribe button. Hope is at the end of the tunnel. They will figure something out, and this will be behind all you guys. We'll talk later. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.